Inshallah, we are live. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Welcome to another lesson of Madina Book 2. Last lesson, we reached page 7. And so that's where we're going to start off from today, inshallah. We went over an exercise where we were learning how to connect the inna to the dama'ir, to the pronouns. So, for example, inna with huwa becomes innahu. So indeed he, or surely he. Okay. And then we came to another exercise, which at the bottom of page 7, which this week I'll be on your cases for as homework. Okay, so as we go through each week, I'm going to be selecting various exercises and asking you to fill them out and then send them through to our WhatsApp group, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so what we're going to do is go straight to page 8. Okay, so straight over to page 8 and straight over to the first exercise at the top of the page. Before we continue, any questions at all? Any questions? Okay, I'm going to go to my PDF and scroll down. Okay, Bismillah. So it says, اقرأ الأمثلة الآتية. Read the following examples. So اقرأ is a command. اقرأ, we've been commanded to read. الأمثلة, so the examples, الآتية, the following examples. And looks like we have 3. So could you start us off, please, Shopna? Could you start us off?
It's al-mudarrisu jadidun, and
Very good.
With adding inna will be innal mudarrisa jadidun.
Very good. Okay.
So surely the teachers are new, or teacher is new.
Exactly. Well done. Okay,
Thank
I hope
you.
that's clear with everyone else as well. Yeah, good. Okay, so when we have al-mudarrisu jadidun, what do we have here? The teacher is new. Okay, and we have al-mudarrisu is the mubtada, and jadidun, when we say al-mudarrisu, say this is the mubtada. Okay, what about him? What about the teacher? Give me some information about the teacher. What about him? So then we say jadidun, and we come with the khabar. The khabar meaning information about the mubtada. Okay, we're describing the mubtada somewhat. So al-mudarrisu jadidun. We now have the mubtada and we have the khabar. Okay. طيب. Then we added inna. So we said indeed the teacher is new, or surely the teacher is new. Okay, and when we did that, al-mudarrisu became al-mudarrisa. So by adding the inna to the sentence, al-mudarrisa now became mansub. And that's all we need to really understand at this stage. Okay, sisters, that when we add the inna, the mubtada becomes mansub. Okay, in this case, al-mudarrisa is mansub. Okay, that's all we need to understand at this stage. Okay, Latifa, could you read the next line for me, please?
Fatimatu tabibatun, inna Fatimata tabibatun. Fatima is a student. Indeed, Fatima is a student.
Okay, very good. Now, when we pronounce names, yeah, actually,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well done. I didn't even realize that, so you got away with that one. What I was going to say is when we pronounce names in English and Arabic, obviously, you know, how we pronounce names in English is different. So one thing that always gets me is when people say Omar. In Arabic, the name is Omar, but then when I hear Brits saying it, they say Umar. Umar, come here, and I'm like, Umar, you completely destroyed the name. The name is Omar. It's not Umar. It always just on a personal level, it just gets me. However, with other names, I mean, so that's my point. That's my point is, but if someone says Umar, I'm not going to, like, you know, be on their case or jump on their back. I'm like, you know, it's we're British, innit? Or we're English speakers, so we have, you know, ways of pronouncing things. However, when we pronounce names and we're reading from the Arabic, then I would never accept somebody to say Umar when it's supposed to be Ain, Mim, and Ra. It's supposed to be Umar. So I would never accept Umar. And it's the same case with Fatima. We've got the Fa and the Ta. In English, we say Fatima. I remember when I was 6 years old in primary school, there was a girl called Fatima, and we used to call her Fatima. Obviously, this is long before I was Muslim or knew Arabic. But so when we're reading from the Arabic, it shouldn't be Fatima. Yeah, that's how we pronounce it in English. But when we're reading it, we should pronounce the Fa and the Ta and the Mim and the Tamabuta. So Fatima. So Fatimatu tabibatun. Inna Fatimata tabibatun. Could you just read that again for me, please, Latifa?
Fatimatu tabibatun. Inna Fatimata tabibatun.
So what you have to do, and I don't want to focus too much on the pronunciation. I want to cover some ground today. But what you have to do, Latifa, and we can maybe work on it later, is there should be a difference between the ta and the ta. Here, you're pronouncing like a ta. It's not a ta. It's a ta. It's like a deeper sound. Ta. So Fatimatu. Yeah.
Okay, inshallah.
We can work on that later, inshallah. Okay, but it's something that you do need to get right, inshallah. Okay, very good. And the next line, can we go with Matsuma, please? Could you read the next line?
Yes. Hamidun mutazawwijun. Inna hamidan mutazawwijan. No, mutazawwijun.
Good.
Hamid is married.
Yes.
Indeed, Hamid is married.
Yes, good. So Hamidun mutazawwijun, and then we said inna hamidan. And so when hamidan became mansub, we don't just add the fathatain, the two fathas. Generally speaking, when a word becomes mansub and needs two fathas, needs fathatain, we add the alif. We add the alif, so it becomes hamidan mutazawwijun. Indeed, hamidan. Indeed, Hamid is married. Exactly. Okay, we have somebody. Looks like they're messaging us on the YouTube comment section or the via the live chat. And they've said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Maryam. And Maryam says, how can someone join your classes, please, as a participant? Subhanallah. As a participant, it's how do I say this, sisters? It's like a private group. It's a private class. We currently do have 5 sisters. I could maybe take on one more sister. I don't know, how would I communicate with you? Any ideas, sisters? How could I communicate with Maryam? I don't know. I'm just trying to think out loud. Latifa, any ideas? Maybe contact me on Instagram. I'm not sure. What should I suggest?
Yeah. Maybe via Instagram or via Facebook if she has Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know if I've really haven't thought about connecting my. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to have a think about that one. I'll tell you what, Maryam.
Maybe if you put
Maryam,
your email there, then she can contact you via email. So if you just post
yeah, I
your
don't know.
email.
I don't know if I want to post my email on YouTube.
Oh.
That's the thing. But what I'll do is I'll have a quick think about it, Maryam. And what I'll do, I'll comment on this video, on this YouTube video. I'll leave a comment below, or if I can, I'll respond to your comments here after the lesson. And once I work out how we can do this, how I can basically get people to contact me privately outside of the lesson. once I work out how to do that, I'll let you know. So check, so Mariam, check the comment section under the YouTube video within the next day or so. Yeah, and we'll work it out, inshallah. Okay, let's carry on with the lesson. So, Bismillah, page 8. The next exercise says adkhil. Now, adkhil, like iqra, is another command. But as you can see, no, it also has 4 letters. And adkhil means enter upon, so put into. So now we've been commanded to put something into something. And it says adkhil inna ala al-jumal al-atiyati. So it wants us to put inna into the following sentences. Okay, wabbit awakhir al-kalimat. Oh, awakhir al-kalimat. So, and it wants us to basically, we're going to read it. Well, we're not going to read it now, actually. But when you write it, make sure you put the vowels in at the end of the words. At the end of the words, is it 2 dhammas? Is it 2 fathas? Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, now this exercise, let's take 1 or 2 of these questions, and then we'll move on. Okay, so number 1, can we go to Ibtisam? Can you hear me, Ibtisam?
إن المدرس صعب.
So does it say al-mudarris? Is there a meme there?
No. It is الدرس. إن الدرس صعب.
So did you say innal darsu? Could you say that again, please?
إن الدرس صعب.
Okay, so remember, you've always done this, Ibtisam, from even from the beginning of Madina Book 1, you always do not pronounce the end of the sentence. So is it sa'bun or sa'bin or sa'ban?
صعب.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to let you get away with that, I'm afraid. Okay, so when you said inna, did you say al-darsu or ad-darsu? Because remember, the dal is a sun letter.
إن الدرس.
Yeah, so the dal is a sun. Remember we studied this in book 1, didn't we? If the letter after alif lam is a sun letter, on which in this case it is the dal, we don't pronounce the alif and the lam, or we don't pronounce the lam anyway. So we say inna dars. But then you said inna darsu. Didn't we say that when you add inna, the word then becomes mansoob and has a fatha?
Yeah, sure. I forgot.
Okay, so could you repeat it, please?
إن الدرس صعب.
Very good. Meaning what, Ibtisam?
The class.
What does inna mean?
Indeed, the class is. I don't know. صعب.
Difficult.
Indeed, the class is difficult.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Well done. Good effort. Good effort. Okay, could we get shop now? Could you read number 2 over to the left, please?
Yeah, it's as-sayyaratu jamilatun, which if we add inna sayyarata jamilatun.
MashaAllah, meaning?
Meaning, so indeed, the car is beautiful.
Exactly. Inna sayyarata jamilatun. Very good. Indeed, the car is beautiful. Thank you for that, Shopna. Okay, any questions with regards to this exercise? Please unmute your microphone, Shopna, because your birds, mashallah. Healthy birds you've got there, mashallah, Shopna. Any questions with regards to this exercise? I think completing the first 2 questions has helped us understand what we need to do here. Okay, so we're going to move on, inshallah, in that case. Okay, alhamdulillah, Maryam says Instagram is fine. My daughter has an account. So here you go. Here's my Instagram account. My Instagram is Brit in Medina. And I guess we'll take it from there. I'm still not exactly sure. I obviously haven't put enough thought into this, have I? About how to be contacted privately. So I'll have to think about that a bit more. But for now, there's my Instagram account. Okay, sisters, after this exercise consists of 10 questions. Okay, after the last line, the 10th question, we have some sort of like, how do I say, diagram. It says as-sayyaratu jamilatun. As-sayyaratu jamilatun. And you can see underneath as-sayyaratu, we have the al-mubtada. Okay, and then underneath jamilatun, we have the al-khabaru. Okay, so the mubtada and the khabar. And then when if you look over to the left, it says inna sayyarata jamilatun. And I've forgotten to scroll down on the PDF. I'm getting so engrossed into these exercises to explaining. I've forgotten to scroll down. Okay, so here we go. So we have inna sayyarata jamilatun. So you can see here we've added in the inna. And so when we do that, it changes. We no longer say that as-sayyarata is the mubtada and jamilatun is the al-khabar. It's like they both belong to the inna. So we say that as-sayyarata is known as ism inna, and the jamilatun, what was the khabar, is now the khabar inna. So when you add inna, the mubtada and the khabar become ism inna and ism khabar. I hope you understand what I've just said, and that's all you need to know at this stage. Okay, so remember everyone watching on YouTube as well, and for you sisters, we've got these videos being recorded here on YouTube. So this is a great tool for revision. Okay, so do feel free to go back and watch these videos over again to revise from. Okay, we're going to move on, inshallah. Next exercise says ta'ammal al-mithalain. Okay, so look at the following examples. Okay, so let's look at al-mithal al-awwal, the first example. Amin al-Hindi anta am min Pakistana. So if we were to translate it literally, we would say, are from India you or from Pakistan? Okay, but obviously we would say, are you from Pakistan or are you from India or from Pakistan? That's how we translate it, isn't it? So Amin al-Hindi, so you've got which is the hamza to istifham. You've got min, meaning from, but because it's followed by alif and lam, we say mina. Min al-Hindi. Al-Hindi ends with kasra because it's majroor, because it's preceded by min, which is a harf al-jar. Anta, meaning you. So are you from India? Am meaning or. Am min Pakistana. Now, I've got a question for you, sisters. Who can answer? Why is Pakistana end with a fatha when min is from the huruf al-jar? Who can answer me that, please? Anybody? Anybody? You can't sit there quietly, sisters. Yes.
ممنوع من صرف.
Sorry, who said is it first? They got there first. Who said is it? Is that?
That was me.
Okay, go on, Shopna.
It was me.
No lying, please. No lying. No cheating. Go ahead, Shopna.
She can take it. It's all right.
No, come on. Go ahead, Shopna. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was thinking of Ismul Inna because of that.
Because of what? Sorry,
Ismul Inna. The new rules.
No, because there's no inna in the sentence. There's no inna in the sentence, is there? So it's nothing to do with inna. Okay, so go ahead, Ibtisam.
It is because it's ممنوع من صرف.
Good. What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
It cannot change. There are words which can.
It cannot change.
Yeah.
But we usually say Pakistanu, don't we? Pakistanu. Yeah, but because of the harf al-jar, it becomes Pakistana. So it has changed, hasn't it? It just hasn't taken a kasra. It's taken a fatha instead. But why is that? But you're right. It's because it's mamnu' min as-sarf. And the words which are mamnu' min as-sarf, they cannot end with kasra. They do not accept kasra, nor do they accept the tanween. Okay, so when you have to, well, if it was another word, we'd put a kasra. But because it's not, instead of putting a kasra, we end up putting a fatha. Okay, remember that, sisters? That was towards the end of Madina Book 1. We put a fatha. Maryam says it's a pronoun. Pronoun, no. I wouldn't say because it's a pronoun, but hopefully after what I've just explained, Maryam, you now know why it ends with a fatha. Al-Mithal al-Thani, the second example, please mute your microphone, Ibtisam. The second example says, Atabibun anta am muhandisun. Atabibun anta am muhandisun. Are you a doctor or an engineer? Okay, so now what we have to do is formulate questions in the same manner. Okay, so looking at example 1 and 2, we have to formulate 10 questions over the next 10 lines. Okay, so number 1, we've got anta and mujtahidun and kaslanu. Who could formulate the first question, please? Anybody?
I can do that.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Maybe
Matsuma.
I can do that, yes.
Go for it.
أأنت مجتهد؟ It's, maybe أنت من Pakistan.
Yes. And then it says
مجتهد؟
kaslanu. Yep.
Sorry, what does the mean in here? It means or?
Means or, yes.
أأنت مجتهد أم كسلان؟
Okay.
أم كسلان.
You know what that means?
Are you a hard worker or lazy?
Okay, now why did lazy take a fatha?
ممنوع من الصرف?
Yes, but even if it's mamnu min as-sarf, it ends with one dhamma.
I think it's
It will
the
only
kind
change.
of name they do not get like kasra. They just or zamma they get
Yes.
fatha.
Yes, but they only take they would only need to take a kasra or a fatha if the state of the word changed. If it changed from marfu' to mansub or majrur, then we would add the fatha. But there's nothing here to change the state of kaslanu. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's only going to change. Kaslanu is marfu'. It ends with a dhamma. So even words that are mamnu' min as-sarf, when they're marfu', they end with a dhamma. It's only when they're preceded by a harful jar to make them majrur, for example, or something happens to change their state to make them majrur or mansub, that then they'll then take the fatha. Because a word which is mamnu' min as-sarf, okay, the sign that it's majrur, or how do we know it's majrur or mansub? Because it has a fatha. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in this sentence, there's nothing to make the word kaslanu change. So there's no reason for us to add the fatha. It would be kaslanu.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you said anta mujtahidun am kaslanu. Okay. Which, you know what, to be honest, if we were talking face to face, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Okay. But when you look at the examples, do you notice that the first part of the question comes after the hamza to istifham, and the second part of the question comes directly after the am? So we would actually say, Amujtahidun anta am kaslanu. Amujtahidun anta am kaslanu. But like I said, I'm not too strict. If you said anta mujtahidun am kaslanu, I wouldn't really have a problem with it. But just for the sake of argument, because it's in the book here, let's just follow it. How the book's given it to us in the examples. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well done, though. Good effort. Okay. Number 2, line number 2. Who wants to give it a crack, inshallah? Latif, I haven't heard your voice for a while.
Okay, I'll try.
Yep. Okay.
Aminasini hiya am al-yaban al-yabanu.
So if you're saying, is she from China or Japan, it will be am min Japan, right? We'd still say from Japan.
Okay.
You know, like in the example, is Amin al-Hindi and Amin Pakistana. We'd say min twice before both countries.
Yeah.
So just repeat it, please.
Yeah. So Aminasini hiya am من اليابان.
That's very well done. And can you translate that, please?
Are you from China or Japan?
Exactly.
Or is
Alhamdulillah.
she, sorry,
Okay.
from China or Japan?
Yes.
Japan.
Yes,
sorry.
I was testing you there. I was testing you. Believe me, I was testing you. Okay, exactly. Is she from China or Japan? Exactly. MashaAllah. Okay, now you can see, sisters, how time-consuming this is. We're already well over halfway through the lesson, and it's taking up. Even though I'm really enjoying the lesson, and I feel like there's a lot of benefit. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm really benefiting from this lesson. It's taking up a lot of time, and if we were to carry on at this rate, it's going to take us many months to finish this book. I don't know. I think I'm going to try and give you more homework than maybe I usually would. Okay, so so the rest of this exercise will make us homework. Okay, sisters, wherever we reach, whatever exercise we pass, make sure you complete those as homework. Okay, and then throughout this week, I'm going to be asking you to post these exercises in the group. Any questions before we continue on page 9? Any questions at all? All right, I'm going to scroll down, inshallah. Bismillah. Okay, so the following questions will also complete for homework. On to the next exercise. Here it says, تأمل الأمثلة الآتية لذو. So when we read the script at the beginning of the lesson, in the previous lesson, what I'm trying to say is, right now we're on page 9, right? The beginning of the lesson was page 5, and we read that last week. Okay. When we read this last week, we came across dhu. It was on the 5th line down on page 5. We said, إنك طالب ذكي ومجتهد وذو خلق. وذو خلق. So dhu meant with good manners. I just want to remind you remind you what we read last week. We said dhu khuluqin, with good manners, or has good manners. So dhu basically means to have or to possess something. Okay. So if we go back now to the exercise, it says mudiruna dhu qamatin tawilatin. Mudiruna dhu qamatin tawilatin. So we can see here, dhu linguistically is mudaf, and the next word is mudafun ilay. So even on page 5 it says dhu khuluqin. Dhu is mudaf and khuluqin is mudafun ilay. Now I know in Madina Book 1 we said the mudaf is the possessed, is that which is owned, and the mudafun ilayhi is the possessor. Even in the English key at the back of the book, it said possessed and possessor. However, you can see here, it's not always the case. It's just something we started with to give you some sort of picture, to give you some sort of understanding. But you can see here, likewise with the numbers, when we're counting the nouns. Do you remember? For example, if I say thalathatu kutubin, thalathatu is mudaf, kutubin is mudafun ilay. However, we don't say the number owns the books or anything like that. It's just a way to express the relationship between the two words. Okay, so here you can see the relationship or the connection between dhu and qamatin is that of mudaf and mudafun ilay. Okay, what does mudiruna dhu qamatin tawilatin mean? What does qamatin mean?
Qamatin mean sorry. Qamatin. Our teacher.
Yes. Or mudiruna, so it's like our manager.
Our manager, sorry, our manager, head teacher. That's what I meant to say. Our manager.
Okay.
Qadimatun, he's like have tall figure, or he's tall, something like that.
Yeah, maybe tall posture.
Tall posture, okay.
Yeah, tall posture. Okay, mashallah. Bear with me.
Sorry, where are you reading at the moment? I do not see that on PDF.
We're on page 9, in the middle of page 9.
Yes, but I mean,
I think you're reading
on
from the
PDF.
book.
Is it different with the book?
Yeah, the
Okay,
book's
yes. So on the
different.
PDF, yeah, on the PDF, I didn't notice that. The PDF says مديرنا ذو لحية طويلة. MashaAllah. So لحية means beard. So our manager has a long beard. Whereas in the book it says مديرنا ذو قامة طويلة. So only in a few instances, sisters, will you see the book and the PDF differ, or maybe every few pages or so, one or two words will differ here and there. So yes, on the PDF it says مديرنا ذو لحية طويلة. Our manager has a long beard. Whereas in the book it says مديرنا ذو قامة طويلة, a tall stature, a tall stature. Okay. Shopna, could you read the next line for me, please?
Yeah, it's هذا الدفتر ذو ورق مسطر.
Yes.
I mean, this notebook have pages with line pages.
Yeah, so waraqin means paper,
Like
basically.
paper,
So paper in a notebook would be pages, wouldn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
lined, that's right, lined pages. This notebook has lined pages. Okay, good. All right, well done, Shopna. Latifa, could you read the next one for me, please?
Ahmadu طالب ذو علم وخلوق.
وخلق.
خلوق. Ahmed is a student with ilm and good manners.
Exactly. أحمد طالب ذو علم وخلق. Well done. أحمد طالب ذو علم وخلق. And notice, sisters, it says علم. So علم is مضاف إليه. وخلق is also مضاف إليه. So it's like the wow, the wa, when we say and خلق, it's like we've attached it to the ruling. So ذو is mudaf, and then ilmin is mudafun ilay. And then when we say and something else, it's like we've connected it. So it also takes the ruling. We don't say ilmin wa khuluqun. No, we say ilmin wa khuluqin. Okay? Hope that makes sense, inshallah. Okay, next sentence, inshallah. Go ahead, please, Matsuma.
هذا القميص ذو هذا القميص ذو كم قصير وذاك ذو كم طويل.
Good.
This shirt
So kummin means sleeve.
Sleeve.
Yes.
This shirt has short sleeve.
Yes.
Sleeves or sleeve.
I believe it's sleeve. It should say sleeves. It should be plural, but I believe kummin is actually singular. So we'll keep it as it's written. So we'll say a short sleeve.
And وذاك.
So dhaka, yes, dhaka is like dhalika, isn't it?
Yeah, and that one has long sleeve.
Yes, exactly, a long sleeve. هذا القميص ذو كم قصير وذاك ذو كم طويل. So this shirt has a short sleeve and that has a long sleeve. Very well done. And Ibtisam, read the next line for me, please.
المسجد الذي حيانا ذو منارة واحدة.
المسجد الذي في
المسجد الذي في حيانا أو
حينا
حينا ذو منارة واحدة.
Good.
The mosque which is there has only one name.
So في حينا doesn't mean there. Yeah. المسجد الذي, the masjid which is في حينا. What does في mean, first of all?
There.
في means in, doesn't it?
Yeah, in.
Yeah, in. And حيٌ means area or neighborhood. And so we say hayyi because it's preceded by a harf al-jar. Fi hayyi, hayyina, our neighborhood. So the masjid which is in our neighborhood has one minaret. Okay, guys, one minaret. Okay, remember, for those watching on YouTube, you can ask questions during the lesson. However, if you're watching after the lesson, then do leave a comment, ask a question, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, inshallah. Okay, any questions, sisters, before we continue? Okay, next exercise. It says, اقرأ الأمثلة. Read the examples. Please mute your microphone, sisters. ثم حول الجمل الآتية مثلها. So read the following examples and then make the following sentences like it. Okay, so let's look at the first line. هذا طالب ذو خلق. This student has good manners. Then we look over to the left. هؤلاء الطلاب ذو خلق. Oh no, now it's going to get a bit tricky now. Now it's going to get a bit tricky. So now we have to really have our thinking caps on. هذا طالب ذو خلق. This is singular. Remember, what's the plural form of هذا? It's هؤلاء. So هؤلاء. What's the plural form of الطالب? It's الطلاب. So هؤلاء الطلاب, these students, ذو خلق, have manners. So ذو is the plural of ذو. So ذو is singular, ذو is plural. And to be honest, this is something that in my every day-to-day life, I never really used this. Even though, to be honest, I rarely use this. Maybe it's just due to my sort of limited vocabulary, personally speaking. But I rarely use this, and you rarely hear people say it. Maybe do khuluqin, but though and to use it in the plural form, you rarely hear people say it. But it's here, so we're going to study it, inshallah. The next line says, هذه الطالبة ذات خلق. Aha. So this female student has good manners. So now we realize that do and though, even though it's for singular and plural, they are both for masculine. However, now we've looked at one which is for feminine. So هذه الطالبة ذات خلق. And then we have هؤلاء الطالبات ذوات خلق. So these female students have good manners. So now we have four, don't we? We have ذو and ذو and ذات and ذوات. Okay, so you need to familiarize yourselves with these. Okay, and inshallah, by completing the following exercises, that will help you to do that, inshallah. All right, so number one, هذا الرجل ذو مال كثير. Okay, so you're gonna have to complete the following three sentences as in the examples, the same way as in the examples. Okay, let's move on to the next page, page 10. Yes, Mariam says area, in our area. That's right. في حينا means in our area. Well done, Mariam. Sorry, I'm a bit late to see your comments, but yeah, that's correct. Well done. Okay. Where did we move to? Page 10. All right, let me scroll down, inshallah. Any questions, sisters, before we continue? Any questions? Okay, next exercise. We've got about 5 minutes remaining. Okay, so let's try and utilize every second, inshallah. Here it says, adkhil, la'alla. So what happens here, sisters? We read the text at the beginning of the lesson. The beginning of this lesson we read last week, didn't we? And then it explains bit by bit. So far, what have we learned? What have we studied? We revised the inna connected to the pronouns, didn't we? We then studied, looked at some examples and sentences where we add inna to a sentence. We then studied how the mubtada and the khabar becomes the ism inna and the khabar inna, didn't we? We then formulated questions, okay? And then we looked at dhu and dawu and datu and dawatu, okay? And now we're going to look at la'alla, which we read at the beginning. لعل. So أدخل لعل على الجمل الآتية علما بأن لعل من أخوات إن. So enter, what does it say here? It says enter لعل upon the following sentences. علما, knowing. بأن لعل, knowing that لعل من أخوات إن. لعل is from the sisters of إن. And when we say something is from the sisters of something, we mean in terms of its ruling, in terms of its effect. So what effect does inna have on a sentence? It changes the mubtada and the khabar to ism inna and ism khabar, or khabar inna. To what? To ism inna and to khabar inna. That's the effect it has, doesn't it? But also it makes the ism inna mansub. And that's the important thing to remember here, sisters. It makes the ism inna mansub. And so la'alla, likewise, will make the noun mansub. So let's have a look here. It says, huwa bi khayrin. So how are we going to do this? We're going to say, la'allahu bi khayrin. I hope he is well. And what does la'alla mean? It means I hope. Sometimes it can mean, yes, let's go with I hope. I hope. لَعَلَّهُ بِخَيْرٍ. So the same way we connect the inna to the pronouns, we're going to collect لَعَلَّ, لَعَلَّهُ, لَعَلَّهُمْ, and so on and so forth. So as you fill out this exercise as your homework or for your homework, if you get confused or you're not too sure, you're going to have to scroll back or flip back to page 7 to see how to connect the word to the pronouns. Okay, so if you're not sure, you have to flip back to page 7. And if you're still not sure, then remember we've got the WhatsApp group where we can ask questions and help each other out, inshallah. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next exercise.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
You know,
Okay.
with these examples here, you know how usually when you have inna, it makes something mansub. Does it
Yes.
not apply to these cases?
Yes, it does, but we're adding a pronoun.
Right.
So when you add a pronoun, the pronoun's not going to change. We're not going to say la'allahu. Oh, but now because la'alla makes the word mansub, we've got to not say who, we've got to say ha and add a fatha to the pronoun. The pronoun's not going to change.
Okay, so the pronoun is it part of, why is that?
The pronouns just don't change. They won't change. So for example, even if you look at page 7, when we say inna, innahu, innaha, innaka, the pronouns don't change.
Okay.
They won't change. Yeah. They're fixed. They're fixed. Okay. So we have la'allahu bi khayrin, la'allaha, and as I said, as you fill out this exercise, if you get stuck, you can go back to flip back to page 7. Okay. Any other questions? All right, next exercise. Ooh, I don't think we're gonna have time for the next exercise. I think we'll stop here, inshallah. Can we squeeze it in? No, let's just stop here. One thing at a time. Okay, I hope everyone's benefited today For those watching on YouTube, do leave a comment. And I'll see you all next week. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum.